Max, must I wait for you for 2 seconds to sit? Can I start? My name is Arne Rossouw, and I'm a business facilitator at Africa Skills Village. And my business plan today will be for business brilliant teens. And my customer segment is for teenagers between the age of 13 to 15, as well as 16 to 18. And that is the adult age of about 35 to 60 for the parents that I will be focusing on. My product segment over here, my value proposition, will consist of a short course for the younger generation to give them the gap that I didn't have after matric. I didn't know about finances, I didn't know not to go and get myself into debt, and I made a lot of mistakes. So I would like to prevent that for the future generation coming. So that will consist of short course. There's 3 different options, option 1, 2 and 3, with different times allocated to each section. And then it will be focusing on communicational skills, problem solving, as well as how to prepare yourself for the business world after matric. What is the benefits of UIF? What is it that you have to pay to SARS? Why is all of that included in the business world? Things that I didn't know and I learned the hard way. So it's just to make it a little bit easier for them to understand the gap between the going to school, learning biology, English, Afrikaans, and then just a bridge to cross over to the business world and to know what to expect. Then my channels, I will use social media and referrals, a lot of networking that I have to do to get to my customers, and I feel that that will be the most interactive way instead of doing posters and flyers and pamphlets and all of that, because I want to build a relationship with the customers, potential customers that I will receive. Then for customer relationship, as I said with number 3 for the channels, it will be referrals again. For each 3 referrals that you bring to me and they are all successful, entered into the course, you may nominate one person that can't afford to pay for it, and then they can also come and sit in and get the benefits and the values from the course that I will be presenting. Then number 5 over here, we've got the prices for the structures. The option number 1 that I've got is 3,500 Rand. This includes lunch, the setup of the venue. If you've got your own venue, I will automatically give you a discount. But that will include the facilitation, the extras that I give out, like the handouts, the pens, nice things to make the table look pretty, and then also the interaction with the learners. We will be playing games, all of the stuff that I need for that. Option number 2 is going to be 4,500 Rand. It's a little bit more in-depth, and it gives you a lot more of the problem solving, the communicational skills, and it's a bit more interactive with the learner on a practical way and not just a theoretical way. Then option number 3, of course, is the most important one and the one that I will be focusing on the most, because that is accredited. You get a credited certificate afterwards, which means that the learner has got something that he can show for the rest of his life. Sorry, I'm standing right here in front of you. Basically, it's got the same principle as option 1, 2, and then the third one is just over a longer period. So you get more in-depth detail, you get more discussions, more practical opportunities to spend time with the learner and to see them grow through that. This will also include mentoring, counseling, advice sessions, as well as the assessments and all of that for the accreditation. Sorry, I'm just going to move to this side. Okay, my key resources. As I am starting the business small, I've given you this on my dream for one day. So small will be just me and an assistant who will receive 3,000 Rand, and then I will be the facilitator, so I will be receiving a little bit more benefits. But with that, the key resources is I want to grow my company. I don't want to stay small. I want to have a Xhosa facilitator, an English, Afrikaans facilitator, and then go from George and stretch out through the whole South Africa. So it's not just going to be something where I stay in George and I've only got George customers here. Then another thing that I also will need is I'm going to start off with going to someone for the printing of the learning material, but then I want to start almost like a sub-business inside the courses, the brilliant business teens, where I will be doing the printing myself. Then I will be employing people to develop new material for me, doing the printing themselves, as well as giving them training in this section of the business as well, to just operate and generate a few more business or job descriptions, if I can say that. Then I will need an office, a printer, an office, a printer. I will need a projector. I've already got my laptop, cell phones, telephones I've got, and I have got a premises that I can rent for nice and cheap. So that's all included in the price structure that I will explain over here a little bit later. Then for number 7, that will be my key activities. Mostly I will need to do the code of conduct, the policies and procedures, getting my contracting right from the beginning. But then after that I will have a job description for each person or a job profile for each person that describes what they need to do, the activities that they need to complete in detail, so that there's no uncertainty with that, and that the policy or that the procedure flows according to plan, that there's no hiccups in between. Then I've got over here my key partners. Sorry, you can't see that one. But I've got the gun here for my security, which will be my legal advisor. I've got the piggy bank for the banks and the investors that I've got that can invest in my company. And then also I've got the community. I've got my employees. Me, myself, the owner, is also a stakeholder. And then externally, I would say the parents of the children is also a very big stakeholder. Because if I don't network enough with them, or if I don't spend enough time with them, then I won't get new business coming into my company. Now, the nice thing about the key partners is I can do a start course between the age of 13 to 15, and then I can do a follow-up course or a follow-up session when they turn 15, between the ages of 15 to 18. So there's not just one opportunity there. I can revisit a customer and say, you've done this one, I've got a little bit of a better one now. We can redo the whole session, and then I've got a few extra information sessions that I can give to you. Then, last but not least, I've got the expenses, which is always the big question when you look at the financial advisors. But my startup cost is very little because I will be starting the business from home. And then the basic salary, the 2 salaries that I will need to pay is the facilitator, which will be me. I will be doing the facilitating, the mentoring, the counseling, and the assessments. So if you take that, this is just based on one learner. So this will then be multiplied with the aim of 300 learners per year over the 11-month period, which will give you 28 learners a month. And then this times 28 will give you the appropriate amount of the expected income, which will be 142,000 estimated. Then the venue, as I said, I've already got a venue planned, so it's very cheap. It's 5,000 Rand a month, and if you take that per learner, that will show you that the venue is only 180 Rand. The facilitator's salary will turn up to about 8,000, 9,000, depending on how many learners come in for each session. There needs to be a minimum of 6 learners to break even, and then the goal will be to have 10 learners for the sufficient amount to be able to make enough money to cover everything, and then just to have a little bit of profit. So the minimum will be 6, and then the maximum will be 10 per class or session. Then if you take all of the fixed expenses and all of the variable expenses into consideration, you count them up, you will get to 1,925, which is the expenses per learner that I have. And if you take option 1, that I took on 10 learners per month, then I will be making 45% profit on each learner. If you take option 2, I also didn't go for the big one on all 28, because you know some people can't always afford the big one. So then I took the second one on another 10 learners, which will be a 57% profit on each learner. And then the last one, 5,500, which will be a 65% profit for each learner. Now, as I said, I'm only starting with 2 employees, but as this grows and as my profit margin grows and I've accumulated a bit of cash flow, then I can automatically start appointing other facilitators and other people to go to the places that I cannot necessarily cover. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.